Hey guys, what's going on? Dace here, and today we're going to be finishing up the sit back and chat style run through of Azure Striker Gunvolt for Nintendo Switch, which oh man, I swear I've been loving this method of doing things. It's just, I've said in the other episodes, it's just so nice to be able to not focus on playing the game while recording. It's just really different, really refreshing, and I'm loving it. It's just fantastic to be able to sit back and share my thoughts and just watch instead of playing. There's definitely going to be more of this happening, that is for sure. And Mega Man style games are just great for that, and whatever else we allow that to bleed into. So anyway, how's everybody doing? I think this game is phenomenal. I say it every single episode, and I've said it on Twitter too. Just, man, I had such a blast going through this game twice, and I can see myself easily going through this again. But as I mentioned before, I'll probably hit up some of the other ones before returning to this, just to give this one some space, so to speak. But anyway, we're near the very end of the game. This, like, I think we just have a few levels or something left. This one kind of goes on for a while. Like, it's a crazy rainy night and you're just kind of blasting your way through all these wild, hectic machines and going up against like mini bosses and stuff like that. But things do develop and get pretty crazy by the end of this episode, so just hang tight for that because it is quite the show. Even though we're skipping like as much of the cutscenage as possible, it really doesn't matter. Like, story-wise, like, who cares? What matters is just the epic fights and all the action. It's so good. One thing I didn't notice in the options, and I definitely looked a few times, I might have just missed it. Either that or there just isn't anything. But I would have loved to be able to turn off all the during action chatting that we see on the screen, because it's just, it isn't necessary. Like, what you can do, as far as I know, is turn off the voice acting, but I wanted to get rid of like the dialogue box as well, but I didn't see any way to do that, so whatevs. So in this level you start off by going up against this guy, and then as we progress we kind of get into situations where there are sections of the floor that are spiked instead, like just shallow pits with spikes essentially, and then that becomes more and more of an increasing danger as the sections just get bigger essentially, or there are more sections of that kind of stuff, but you're fighting the same dude, or just like a different, same model, different dude. But yeah, I think it would have been cool if they had like a souped up version of this guy. Like, they're kind of all the same to me, whether it's the green one or this one. Like, they've got some different things to them, but for the most part, it's like if you know how to beat one of them, you're just gonna breeze through the rest of them. The train level was cool because the train level had the like six-legged like machine that you go up against, and that was awesome. Because you've got him like going on the floor and the ceiling and just doing different things, but I think they could have done more variation, and that would have been really cool. But that's also one thing too, like, this is just the first game. I can imagine they did things a little differently for number 2, and I don't remember much of what little I played of Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avengers, but I can imagine it's got that much more punch packed into it as well, so really eager to get at both of those. Luxcalibur! Just, man, taken out so quick. I love it. Sweet, great job, GV. In the realm of endless range. I'll point out the part where I've died a couple times, just from like silly miscalculations. I think it might be coming up soon. If not, yeah. Yeah, it's this part here. Oh, that was so lame. It's like you think you have enough charge, but you don't even bother looking, and that's why you just go down. I probably could have grabbed that cliff, but it is what it is. So I made sure I definitely had a full force shield or flash shield or whatever the hell it's called. Flash field. Man, I swear, I cannot get over this game. It's just so cool. That's one thing I love about games like this, like Mega Man style, I mean, just, man, when it's done well, and you haven't played something like this in a while, it's just so good to get back into the action, the platforming, the different abilities, like going up against bosses, the learning curve, all of these things just add to this epic soup that is just a great experience to be had. And I didn't have Luxcalibur ready, so I just did what I could. Ideally, you like being able to take him out in like a single collapse and not letting him go through another full round, but it's not like he takes long to get him down again, so it's not a big deal. Okay. But guess what? It's not over yet. We still got plenty to do. Man. So we fight this dude again. Yeah, it's all about like falling into the spike pits. Like a complete novice. Yeah, man, with this fight there is so much room for just standing somewhere to stay safe. You can still get nicked like that, but for the most part it's just like, okay, yeah, you just move here and you're fine, or you move over here and now you're fine again. He goes down pretty quick. This one still fumbles me up sometimes, like, it's the easiest thing to dodge, but half the time I'm just not paying close enough attention, mainly because I don't care. Those are huge fists, it's crazy. Oh, I got smashed by that. Jeez. But yeah, visually speaking, this game is just amazing. I love the colors and oh, the art. So good. Jeez, it's like, man. Oh. As if I took both of those smashes. You gotta be joking. But he's almost toast. On the verge. Goodbye, man. There you go. The sword is crumbled. Cracked and crumbled. She's always like, oh, are you hurt? Oh. It's like, no one cares. Let's just get to the next mission. Stratosphere. Man, as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, perfect. Here we go with the fighting peeps we've already fought before, part of the game. And this is where the leveling up and the extra practice with the bosses helped out, because the first time against this, I would get maybe to the third boss and then he would just cream me. And that's when I was like, okay, it's time to actually memorize these dudes, otherwise I'm not gonna get past this. And that makes a huge difference. Cackling like a fool. And again, like the background's like, it's so cool because like the fight is being done while we're going up this massive elevator. And I just think it's so cool that we have the background visuals that we do. I could have been doing the other side again too. He's not happy. It's so much running and jumping, it's crazy. If you were doing this in real life, you'd be asking yourself, like, man, like, why am I not just, like, killing this guy? Why am I doing nothing but just jumping all over the place? But hey, in Azure Striker Gunvolt, that's what you gotta do to get the job done. Oh, but it's not over yet. We fight this guy now. This guy's a lot of fun. I really like his color and his look and just his attacks and all that. When we actually get to the end, the section surrounding the true secret boss, then I will actually share a bit of story, since we'll be skipping it, because it is pretty cool what little I paid attention anyway. So what you do for that is you just wait long enough and then jump through, and he won't correct his direction, and then you're safe to just stay behind him and all that kind of stuff. I did not need to take that, but poor positioning and lack of gauge just kind of like had me running out. And again with that too, normally when I play and do this guy flawlessly, I'm not nearly as low on the energy. Now that does damage him. It might not look like it does, but it does damage him when you're doing that and he's going crazy with his laser beams. It's just that it does so little to him from that position. But he's dropping fast enough. Man, what a cool idea. A game where you tag dudes and then zap them. It's so cool. So for this one, as long as you... The thing to keep in mind for this specifically is, like, once he does that attack with the rift across the top, that does damage if you jump up into it. And then of course he flies across the bottom, so it's like if you aren't behind him, you are taking damage one way or another. Now the thing to keep in mind is when he lifts the huge sword up, the sword isn't going to hurt you, and that's why I'm able to jump through it to get behind him. And that's kind of how you deal with that dude. But yeah, honestly, such a fun boss. I love it. Oh, that was so silly. I could have totally just avoided that. You are almost toast, my friend. There we go. You got what you deserve, man. You shat in the rice, you pay the price. Oh, but the fun doesn't end there. Now we get this guy. So it's a pretty basic, well, they're all like basic when you know what to do, but sometimes he does 2 slides, other times he'll just do 1 and then shooting, but as long as you're shooting those shots before they get too close to you, then you're pretty much good. So the first stage of this guy is just really, really simple to deal with. It's the second and third stages of his fight that I have a trickier time with because I'm not super experienced with the game yet. Because he does a lot more dashing diagonally from wall to wall, shooting things like shots coming out like we just saw, slides, all sorts of stuff, and then the huge smash downwards that he does with like it looks like a flaming spur on the back of his boot or whatever. So that can be tricky at times if you're not sure how to deal with it, or you're just in one of those modes where it's frantic or whatever. Refulgence! Big chunks. I love it. So cool. Level up. Man, we're getting close to the end, peeps. We are getting there. Okay, so yeah, here's the one I was telling you about. We got these 2 ladies, and then we got the third. So she makes that noise and shoots that thing out, and she resurrects either of the 2. It's, yeah, I'm not sure like why the hell they thought her noise was gonna be like awesome, but it's amusing to me anyway. Holy snakes, man. Oh, as if. Yeah, that does damage. That does big chunks that you'd rather just not take. And this is the one I mentioned. I don't recall if it was back in the last episode, but this is the one where I am like so close to dying a few times. Like we're talking like less than a millimeter of HP. Like you don't even see HP on my bar, but somehow I pulled through. It was crazy. Oh, as if like I turned around. Like what the hell was I thinking? And the tricky thing is too, like you want to be careful of who you've targeted, because if you don't want to kill one of them off yet because you're getting the other one closer, but you start zapping all the way around and Orochi has targeted the other one, then it's like you can get into some trouble with that. And I suppose I could have switched Orochi to something else, since he does just automatically shoot when I fire. So in that sense, it's not the greatest, but like as you can see, I have like next to no health right now, and somehow we... Oh my god. Guess what? She brings back both of them. Oh my god. And look at their health, they're like at half! Like, at this point I was just like, how am I gonna get through this? Like, what? Like, this has been a slop fest from the start with so many errors, and yet somehow we just hang in there, healing what little we can. It was just, oh man, this was probably the craziest fight out of the 2 plays I've done. And like, I've definitely had some close calls with like the end boss and stuff during like practice sessions and stuff like that, but Man, this one takes the cake in terms of like edge of your seat, shit in your pants, and like cleaning up later. Like this was just craziness. But yeah, I'm just blasting, like doing whatever I can. But hey, we did it. Oh my god, we did it. And then I'm just booking it, like getting as far away from that as possible. Gunvolts. So one thing you may have noticed is like I'm at, like everything's topped up, because I did die to him when I first showed up. It was like a really silly slot fest, just like wandering into this. So I just hacked that out and just decided to showcase the fight after. Ooh. As if. Well, he's 1/3 down anyway. That was silly. That was absolutely foolish. And as you can see, like, there's just a lot of stuff where it's easy to just fumble and take damage where you don't even need to. If you're paying closer attention and just doing things accordingly, then there's no reason to be taking hits from some of these things. Don't try to swindle me, monster. You're all just animals. If left on your own, you'll end us all. Like, who's even reading any of this when they're actually playing through the game themselves? That's quite the attack. I was just experimenting by jumping behind him to see if I could have a safe zone there, but definitely not. It damaged me, and lesson learned. Yeah, I love the brilliant purple flashing of the flash field. So cool. Nice. Oh, guys. Are you ready? Like, I mean, are you ready? The mighty Nova, who has seized the muses, something blah 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 blah. Alright, this is it, peeps. So we got the ninjas dropping down like crazy. Oh, and I think it's so cool that the flash field slows your descent. That is such a great inclusion. You! This was lame because, like, just based on the placement of those two enemies, I couldn't damage the fire guy. So it was like, oh, you gotta be joking me. I gotta wait until that happens, when I want to be, like, long gone by this point. But it is what it is. Oh man, with every step, we're just getting closer and closer. So one thing, most of the time, you'll have two ninjas together. Most of the time, you'll be able to run under the first one, and then they'll drop down before you get to the second one. I've had somewhere I think it's reversed, or sometimes if there's just a single ninja by himself, which is less often, then he just like drops whenever. But yeah, it's just neat. So many different types of enemies in this game, it's crazy. So here we are. So the only way Okay, well, I'll put it this way. If you fire at his little shield thing, then these, like, nasty purple shards come flying out at you. And then he fires those in different arrangements, like the triple shot or the 3 singles straight in a row, or sometimes the first one is low, then high, then low. But anyway, like that one. So I think we've seen all of those, but essentially what you do is you damage the butterfly girl with your, or you phase her out with your flash field, and then that drops his shield, and that's the only time you can actually target him. So you want to get him up to pink and then just start zapping for as long as you can. Then he has this attack too where he does 10 shots or something, which just follow Gunvolt. So that's really easy to dodge. And then this other attack where he just goes across the top. So other than that, that's pretty much all he does, except for when you get to his 3rd stage. That's when he does his, like, big shindig attack. And we will see that soon, because he's almost down to his last... Yeah, so here it is. Mindmeldor. So you go from the side for the first one, and then you jump out diagonally from the second one, and then you do the first routine, then the second, then the first again, because he does that 5 times. So it's easy to dodge, but you definitely don't want to be getting snagged by that, because, yeah, damage takes a toll on the old health. But other than that, he's, like, pretty straightforward. Like, we're not having much of an issue. And those shards that you just saw were the ones I was talking about. Sometimes, like, in the chaos of, like, all the colors blurring, you have no idea, like, whether you phased her out. Or so sometimes you're just shooting, but you haven't even taken the shield down yet, so... So we want to avoid that huge growing wave and these... But it's always crazy when you get to the end of, like, a Mega Man style game and there's, like, the big boss who you're just like, oh my god, but then he has, like, these 2 big ass robots as well. It's just like, what? I'm taking on all of this stuff? It really reminds me of yeah, just the Mega Man X games. They have done some awesome sections with those games. Whether it's, like, floating fist platforms that can smash you, but you also use them to get up to, like, Sigma's head, that kind of stuff. Aw, sometimes I get nailed by that. Man, these lightning strikes, they deal a lot of chunkage, so you do not want to get hit. But it's so cool. This is such a great fight, honestly. I love this boss fight. I was not sure how to deal with that attack when they do the 2 beams. I suppose just because there is a slight delay before the top one fires, I suppose it would just be as simple as already being on the fall before the top one fires, so... But again, I didn't play the game, or this fight, enough to really start experimenting with that. So even though he's about to be toast, for this final phase, this huge-ass meteor starts to come down, and you essentially have only so much time to finish him off before that comes down. If you touch it, you're, I think, insta-killed. So what happens here, normally, is that if you don't have the necklace that I mentioned in the first episode, if you don't have that on, then you won't be able to do the secret true boss. So normally what happens is Asimov shows up and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna, like, use her, use you guys, or now we can wipe out everyone, blah 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 blah. And Gunvolt is like, well, I'm not gonna stand for that, so no. So he shoots Gunvolt. But then if you go back and do it with the medallion on, what happens is, like, you go through that same scene, but then we had that dark thing where she was like, oh, GV. She says, like, something about some dream, or like, oh, maybe there's, like, another way, or some bullshit. And so he awakens this ability where he's just, like, in Super Saiyan mode, and you have infinite jumps, and you can just pretty much go crazy. So we fight this guy. We're on our way to meet Asimov, now that we know he's like the true evil. Well, there's a lot of evil roaming around, to be honest, but we find out he's just being like this jackass, and he must be dealt with. So we fight this guy, and we go on our merry way. And the Asimov fight is awesome. But yeah, this guy drops pretty quick, because again, like at this point you've fought him before, and this time you're souped up, so it's like he really doesn't pose an issue. But it's still fun to fight enemies when you've got like a new set of somethings at your disposal. There's a really cool part coming up with the infinite jump ability. We're pretty much going back the way we came, but there's a part, if you guys remember, when we were floating down through the air and there were like all those like electric like spike mines or whatever they were. Yeah, we kind of work our way up there. Here it is. So we just, yeah, do this all the way up. I didn't need to take that hit, but it's just, oh man, it's so cool. Out of my way, kid. What a stellar game, man, seriously. It's just so good. So we find out that he has the same awakened power that Gunvolt now has, so he has his own flash field. So the thing with this fight is any of those shots that he fires will drain you completely of your like energy, which means you're going to be taking that to the face. So what you want to do is avoid them at all costs so that you can use your flash field, because the only time that you can target him and then damage him is by stunning him with your flash field, like you've seen me do it here. You tag him, and then he has this like attack that he does, easy to dodge. I don't think I've ever taken a hit from that. And then he does this one, which either starts going the bottom route or the top route. But yeah, just a simple matter of tagging and just keep zapping him as long as you can get it going. So some of these curve, it's sometimes tricky to anticipate. And if you get hit, like I said, you're going to be suffering a little bit. I definitely made some sloppy errors here. If you know what to look for, they're not as tricky to figure out which way they're going to go, but at the same time, it's still easy to just slip up sometimes. Oh man, and his mega attack is crazy. If you're not at full health, and I fumble here, I was, ideally you can avoid it just by staying in the proper spot, but I didn't there. But if you're not at 100%, that thing will like insta-kill you. It's crazy. I think if you're at like 80% or lower, you're probably toast. Again, I've only fought him like twice, like once each playthrough, so. But man, what an awesome boss. That one's really easy to dodge, regardless of which direction it starts in. And he's already toast. So yeah, that's... And then it goes through a nice song with this gorgeous butterfly as the credits roll, and then this is like right at the end. But anyway, that is pretty much going to wrap up this episode, you guys. We'll just watch... whatever we're going to watch. I think what I did is I went back to the title screen, because there's something so fantastic when you start at the title screen and you play a game in one sitting, and then you return to the title screen and you're just like, wow, what a trip. Like, it's familiar, and yet being here at this title screen is just new, because like you just went through this experience, and I just wanted to kind of like let this run for just a short period of time, because I knew I was gonna babble on about that and just like wrap things up. But yeah, anyway, that brings this game to a close. I will definitely start on number 2, and yeah, we'll go from there. But anyway, you guys have an awesome one. Thanks so much, and we will see you next time.